Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Wolf Pack. Until I change the name. Today we are doing a little Timberwolves rebuild. Now, this is a multi-part series. I want to take this pretty seriously. But we're going back to 2002. We got Kevin Garnett on the team, and we're gonna do him justice. All right. We don't want him going to the nasty ass Celtics. All right. We want him staying here in Minnesota. And we're gonna bring a championship to a team that has not won a championship in their whole existence. One of the few NBA teams to never win it all, and this was one of their best opportunities. So we're gonna make sure it works out today. But we're starting out in the 2002-03 season, so this is the roster we're dealing with. We got Kevin Garnett. He's a few years into the league. Already a multi-time All-Star. Got a few All NBAs. Like he's here. So this is around where his peak starts. So we're trying to get him a good opportunity within the next like 3-4 years. So it is a big fall off after KG. We have Wally. He's good. He's definitely good, and he's still young at the time. This is his third season. We're going into fourth. So he definitely has a bright future ahead of him, but no guarantees that he's on this team. Got a few things planned for later. Then after that, we got Joe Smith and Terrell Brandon, who's getting up there in age, but he's still a serviceable point guard for us. And then it's just some guys. Mark Jackson, he's in his second season. And we got some random guys. We got Gary Trent. We got obviously Kendall Gill, but he's getting up there in age. Anthony Peeler. A lot of old guys. Backup point guards old too. This is a very old team, and I don't think that we're gonna be staying that way for long. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We gotta feel out what the league is cooking this year. So to get an idea of the teams that we are going up against, obviously the big one that we are gonna have to deal with for a while is gonna be the Lakers. No guarantee that Shaq is gone after 2004, like in real life. So for the foreseeable future, I mean, we have this dynamic duo. They're probably winning like 3 or 4 straight championships, but you know how 2K goes. Sometimes that they think that dynasties don't deserve to win any championships, which makes no sense at all. But along with them, we have obviously the Spurs, another big team at the time. They already got their guys. They got the trio Manu, Tony, and Tim Duncan. David Robinson's still here. So this team is going to be one to beat for a while. And of course, most of these teams are West teams. So, thinking right now, this may not be the year that we try to win because we're not. We got two juggernauts that we're going to have to get past, and I just don't foresee that happening. So, what instead we need to try to do is make it where we're in a position to win maybe 2 years. But looking at the team right now, I think the best plan of action is just to kind of let this first season play out. Uh, I don't believe the Timberwolves made any big moves this year, but my 2002 NBA knowledge isn't very extensive. So yeah, I think the best course of action is just to see how these first 5 games play out. We got a bad Nuggets team. We got the Pacers. Now, this is a good time to clarify. I'm going fully off of what 2K has. I've tried in the past to do rebuilds with custom rosters, custom draft classes, and you know they're good, and it's fun to have players that aren't included. So like Reggie Miller or Charles Barkley, especially when you're playing in the '90s. But I just don't feel like messing with that for this series because people aren't great at doing attributes and stuff and going into the finer details. And so you find a lot of players get messed up in a lot of the draft classes sometimes. Like they're so bad with potential. So we're just rocking with what 2K has for us. So we get a little bit of a weaker NBA, unfortunately, but it's chill. We'll be okay. Uh, so, anyways, we got a few, you know, okay to bad teams to face off right now. Um, look at the Jordan on the Wizards. I forgot that was this year. So, I'm gonna play some games from time to time, but I'm not too interested in being in full control. I kind of want the simulation to figure itself out. Looking at the lineup that we're gonna run for this season, uh, you know, my only it feels like this lineup isn't good. Um, but overalls are pretty low, like around the league at this time. So it makes me feel a little bit better about the team that we're rocking with. I think this is the best combination that we can have. There's not really. Oh yeah, we need Joe Smith somewhere. Okay, let's see. That's who we're missing. So we can kind of decide between fitting Joe Smith in here, or we just keep him as like the sixth man, which I don't think is a bad idea because he's still gonna get the same amount of minutes basically. Uh, but I think we run the nine man. Oh yeah, for sure. Because yeah, I mean, just for yeah. Okay, so we're getting Terrell Brandon, Anthony Peeler, Wally, KG, and Mark Jackson as our starting lineup. We got Joe Smith as our sixth man, and then we got these old guys rocking on the bench. But they should be able to perform pretty well for us. And then one last thing I want to do before we get really into the season, I want to make sure these boys are jacking up them threes. All right. Listen, it's 2002. We got a bit of an advantage over the fact that teams aren't really shooting threes like crazy, and we got a team that's not really good at spacing, not really good at shooting in general. So like the three guys we have on this team that are good as shooters, I'm gonna make sure that they are shooting. And so I mean we have Wally who, yeah, he's got an 88 three, and he's an all around scorer, but we need him to space the floor, especially with the way our team is. So I mean I'm putting it up high. I want him shooting them, and then uh Terrell Brandon, he could definitely shoot some more. Anthony Peeler. Yeah, Anthony Peeler is the other one. He's playing our shooting guard. We kind of want him spacing out, being a bit of a catch and shoot. I mean, that's what his archetype says. So I'm putting it pretty high. But this is subject to change if they start shooting like crazy amount of threes. Yeah, Kendall Gill is pretty solid. I mean, 75, but for the time, you know, they're not guarding them. But I mean that's about it. I definitely wouldn't be opposed to KG getting some more threes in, even though I not that's not his game. He could definitely get some up, and I just kind of want everyone like not shooting them at a high rate, but like just not being afraid to, just getting them up from time to time, and then looking at shot tendencies. Just because I know 2K is 2K. Like I want KG shooting. We're gonna put him at 98. Like he's leading the team, and Wally is our second scorer, so we're giving him 88. Then everyone else, just make sure none of these are crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's good. I mean, Joe Smith's someone we probably want scoring a little more than Anthony Peeler too. Don't want to mess them up too much because you could they over like the way shot tendency works is it's determining based off of all the other shot tendencies. So if you have them all at 99, they're just going to shoot all the same amount of shots basically. So you don't want it to be too close. Like you want the huge discrepancy for your star. So I'm definitely keeping KG like super super high. Yeah, we'll stay at 98 for now. Let him have like an MVP type season because he's gonna have to carry us. In all honesty, um, and then touches. I actually didn't know this until recently, but higher touches for your point guard actually doesn't matter because they're gonna get the ball anyways. So the touch tendency really matters for like your power forward like KG. So him being at a 90 is good. Wally we definitely want a little higher, and then maybe a little for Joe Smith, and Anthony Peeler definitely needs to get up some more. So I think yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I think someone like Gary Trent, maybe even Kendall Gill. I mean, he's playing the 2 and the 1, so he's probably going to touch a good bit. Mark Jackson, I might consider putting down a little bit, but I really shouldn't mess with it too much, but I can't help myself. Uh, and obviously, we're running through Terrell Brandon. But I'm not going to put it too high just because he is the point guard already. And I just want to make sure he has the dish to open man pretty high. Just making sure because I want him to be like he's a good enough scorer, but we're really looking at this. Yeah, his passing is pretty good. So we definitely want him to be. Yeah, okay, he's got a 90, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, make sure I save that, and I think we're ready. Yeah, we're not gonna be making any moves obviously right now. We just want to feel out the team, see if there are any trades that we want to do, whether it be big time trades or just some role players switch arounds. But let's get into game one. And we're playing the Nuggets. Playing a pretty bad team for the year. You gotta remember they got Carmelo Anthony in this draft, so they were a pretty bad team this year, so we feel pretty good about it. But we got KG facing up against Jawan Howard and Marcus Camby. I mean that's gonna be a little rough. But we're hoping Wally's got this. Alright, we're gonna simcast game one because we're gonna make sure that we win. Okay, so we're starting off the season big. All right, 30-point win, 32-point win, and it wasn't even led by Kevin Garnett. Wow. Yeah, Wally and Joe Smith uh leading the way, shooting the same amount of shots as KG. So maybe that's something we have to look into. But regardless, pretty good all around game for everybody. KG with the triple double. You'll have to see it. Wow, 19 rebounds. That's impressive. But yeah, Joe Smith starting out the season great. Off the bench, 22 points. And Wally with three threes. That's good. We want to see more of that. And we want to see more Anthony Peeler threes for sure, too. Kevin Garnett shot two. That's pretty interesting. So maybe let's hope he doesn't do much of that. But let's let's go through game by game. Let's see. Let's see what this team is like to start off with. So okay, yeah. Looking like we're about to be. Oh yeah, yeah, another dominant win. I mean, we're on a plus 60 point differential in the season right now. Then KG has this dominant game, 29-22. Oh my God, look at the season stats. He's averaging 20 rebounds per game. You know how it goes. And 9.5 assists. His playmaking is a lot better than I thought it would be at this point. I mean, you see so far in his career, he's only I mean, he's averaging 5 per game. That's pretty solid. More than I actually, more than I actually expected from Kevin Garnett. So I don't know. Maybe he keeps it up, and Wally falls off this game. But Anthony Peeler only made 1 3, but he's scoring up. Or no, he's in the starting lineup. Yeah, Joe Smith's off the bench, but yeah, they're both doing pretty good. We're doing it by committee. It doesn't really seem like KG's having to carry so far. But I mean, we'll see soon enough. Hopefully. Oh my God! Hopefully we can keep this up. 15 point, not as much this time, but you know how it goes. And Wally's back. Three threes. KG 26, 14, and 5. He is still getting a bunch of rebounds right now. I mean, he is obviously known as a great rebounder, but man, averaging 18 through 3 games, that's great to see. All right, we're gonna do this for the first 5 games of the season, see how it goes, and then yeah, go from there. Let me fix the rotation. Okay, we're kind of spreading the minutes around. We're gonna give Igor some minutes. He one of our younger guys is 24, hasn't played. Is he real? Wait, let's look it up real quick. I don't even know if this dude is real. Never heard of the name. Okay, so he is a real basketball player. Okay, so this is his first season in the league. He only played this season. So he just came from overseas. We're gonna give him a shot. He's a 6'3" point guard, shooting guard. Let's see what he's got. I mean, a bit of a shooter. Okay, let's see what he's got. Sure. And the Timberwolves are just running through the league, but they couldn't do it today. They lose at the last minute to the Nets. I mean, a good team. RJ and Jason Kidd. But Wally leads the way. So we're really, I mean, this is a really good thing right now. In real life, this is this year or the year before that he. Okay, so the year before he gets his All Star game. That's his only All Star game in real life. So far he's looking really good on the season. You know, this is a guy that I was considering putting into the trade package if we make a star trade. You know, this is his 4th year on his rookie contract, so we gotta pay him this summer. But so far he's looking like he's really solid. I mean, look at that 3-point percentage on the season. Obviously, we're only 4 games in, so Wizards hoping we could get past this one as well. And we're getting dominated. But it's a close game down the stretch, and don't pull through. All right. Well, KG's having a crazy season so far, 24, 17, and 7. Surprisingly, not a lot of blocks so far, so wondering what's up with that. Could be team system. Could be something to look into. Terrell Brandon on the season, you know, I'm hoping that he would be our big time playmaker, and 7 assists is really solid. And obviously, KG is up in his assists this season, but if Terrell Brandon isn't someone who's playmaking a lot for us, I don't know if we want him. And here's my reason on why. Something I haven't discussed yet. Just kind of looking at the contracts of this team, Terrell Brandon's right there, number 2, getting paid 10 million a year. And he's 32 at this point. He's beginning to fall off, you know, and we just don't want to pay that money next year since it is guaranteed. It could be something we could easily put in a trade package if we want. So hopefully it pulls through for us and we get the playmaker we need. Um, but yeah, let's jump. I say let's jump 5 games. Do a little 5 game stretch. See how we're doing. Okay, beautiful. We'll just go back to the normal rotation. And oh man, we are on a streak. Of course, we gotta fix some things for Terrell. Okay. Now let's check. How's our rookie doing? Okay, pretty solid. You know, I'm almost tempted to see if we want to just say, hey, you know, Terrell Brandon's out for 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. You know, Rod Strickland, he's been really good for us off the bench, but let's let's give our boy a chance. What do you say? Yeah, Igor, you get 15 minutes, but you're getting the starting role. All right, let's just see what you can do. All right, I might even try to scrounge up some minutes somewhere. Like maybe I do one of these. just just one, and so we can get the 20 minutes. All right, let's see what Igor can do. He's gonna get like a 2 game stretch. I know this isn't what the coach would typically do. But I want to see what this young guy is capable of. And oh man, KG is having a season. Goes up against Tim Duncan, key matchup. Probably should have simcasted this game. This is such an important game, but we win. We beat the Spurs. KG has another dominant game. And Wally, I mean, he's averaging 20 points per game, but he's having these big games. He's shooting the threes. That's what we're really looking for. And even KG, 2 for 3 from three. I mean, if he can stretch the floor some, you know, that just adds another layer to this game. And then we beat the Hornets. KG, man, it's going crazy. Kendall Gill off the bench, scoring a nice 21. So yeah, we're looking pretty solid. Let's play this 10th game. And Wally gets hit with the injury. We lose the 2-point close game to Powell and the Grizzlies. A brutal game. KG still going crazy, man. The rebounds have gone down a little bit, but really not that much. His assists are still up. The blocks are back up to 2.4. There we go. Yeah, I expect him to get around 2. I think he can do that this season. But anyways, I gotta fix this again. So we're getting a lot of these little tiny injuries, which is pretty annoying. And you know what we can do? We can go over to the staff. Let's see what we're rocking with. Uh, oh, beautiful! They changed it in this game. So this is my first time playing 2K25, and I'm very glad to see that they are done with the super complicated staffing that never worked out because you could never afford any of the coaches. So our guy, he's 3-star. His badges. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like there's really better candidates out there. Yeah, I think we just gotta rock with what we have. But that's okay. What's our coach looking like? All right, Ricky Smith, pretty solid coach, and I doubt there's really even anyone out there. Oh, of course, there's Michael Stauffer. You know how it goes. Uh, oh wow, they don't even have assistant coach anymore. Dang, that's always been in the game. Oh well. Anyways, good enough. I mean, we're 7-3. Let's look at the standings. We're number 2. I think in real life the Timberwolves were third this season. They're pretty solid. Uh, the one team definitely missing here. I see no Spurs. I'm really hoping 2K doesn't hate on the Spurs. Definitely not hating on the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers are going crazy. Let's get an idea of the league right now. Let's see. Um, yeah, let's look at some league leaders. Obviously, we got Kobe, then AI. I mean, this is crazy. 36 and 34. I mean, this is unheard of in 2002. You gotta love 2K. And then here we go. KG right here at number 3. 29.5. He's actually not averaging the most rebounds per game because of Ben Wallace. And then, oh, wow. There is something up with these tendencies because we have so many guys averaging an insane amount of rebounds. We're looking at assists. Yeah, this is predictable. Seems about right. Uh, see, even close in blocks. Ace is 8th, so you know, get the predictable people up here. I mean, Sean Bradley. It's pretty surprising at this point in his career. But anyways, I say for today's schedule, we'll get to the 20th game and see how we're feeling. But before we go back into any games, let's see. We got Wally injured and Terrell. Yeah. How did? Sorry, my mind's all over the place. How did our boy perform? Not good. He does have a really high shot tendency, which is not good because I don't want him shoot. Well, he's spacing the floor, but he's not. So, I think we always started him for that game. Yeah, he did play. I started him after he had a god awful game. Um, well, he played 1 minute, so I guess it doesn't really count. But anyways, yeah, we're making the right move. Let's put Rod Strickland here. Uh, Kendall Gill. So it wants Anthony Peeler to come off the bench now, which is pretty interesting. I feel like he's been okay to start season. I mean, that 3 point percentage is awful. So, whatever coach thinks is best. Joe Smith having a good season so far. He had a few key games. Um, Hoping he keeps that up. Kendall Gill, definitely a big surprise here. I mean, he's towards the end of his career, age 34, doubling his points. So, yeah, we like that. And Rod Strickland, he's coming in and he's doing his job. Now, I just want to make sure that Rod Strickland is addition to the open man. At least at a good rate. All right. I think that's good for now. I think we just go through. Yeah. None of these games are games I really care about too much. We'll sim through 3 games. Ooh, we get hit with the bad one. Anthony Bueller is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. And we lose. We lose to the Pacers. Oh no, what am I doing? Simulation's going too fast. Alright, I didn't even see what happened there. Alright, KG has a good game. Then we go up against the Grizzlies, KG. And then Terrell Brandon comes back and has a dominant game. Alright, alright. But looking at the injuries, man, we are getting a quick injury bug. Now, they're little injuries, but it doesn't mean it's not annoying. And it really sucks because we don't have a deep team. I mean, not a lot of teams have deep teams because not everyone is in the game. So there's a lot of like 60 overall no names on every roster. But it really sucks that we're getting hit with the injury bug early. I did turn down injury tendencies a good bit because I find it pretty annoying in 2K. But I mean, this is just how it goes. Anthony Peeler is someone that was our starter, but it seems like Kendall Gill is taking that spot and keeping it for now. So we're kind of chilling with that. Um, and I'm fine with Igor stepping in. Um, yeah, but I mean, you see, like after that, we only have 60 overalls. Uh, so 3 guys out. It's pretty brutal for us, but regardless, we just rock with the lineup the coach suggests. Let's see. Let's get past the Hawks. Oh, another loss. All right, now listen. Kendall Gill's having the time of his life. We're not trading. All right. I don't even want to hear no CPU trade offers. They're historically awful. But anyways, we lose this game to the Hawks. Unfortunate. It's the first game in a long time where KG isn't leading in the box score. It says Joe Smith. Okay. Still doing good. Now this is a player I haven't looked at in a while. We got Mark Jackson. 27, but he's only playing his 3rd season. I thought he was a little younger. Uh, we're hoping for him to be a serviceable big. Uh, and he's doing his job, but he's someone that we could definitely be looking to replace. The problem is I just don't know how much we got to trade. Uh, but yeah, I think what are we? 2 more games to 15. I think we played this team, we beat them. I think we just simmed through it. And the Knicks, yeah, I'm not really too interested in that game either. Really looking forward to this Lakers game. I think that's where we'll probably stop the first episode. Yeah. Lose to the Nets after. Oh no, we've lost to the Nets twice. Our 2 games of the year, we play the Nets and we lose to them. I mean, this is a good team. They got Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin, and if I'm correct, they were in the finals just recently. Yeah, just last year they were in the finals. Didn't win a game, but they were there. So But in this game, KG dominant game. I mean, he's really having to carry this team, and that's something that we're happy about because he's making his MVP case right now. As long as we're a good team. But looking forward, we're probably wanting to get this man a star. I mean, he needs some help, man. But he's going on a dominant run. The rebounds are finally falling off, but in the assist. But it is what it is. New York, KG, another crazy game, or at least scoring wise. Wally comes back from his injuries and he is shooting it up. Okay, so I say, what are the injuries looking like? They're still pretty, yeah. All right, let's just run through these last two games. These aren't really games I care too much about. I mean, Kings are, what are they right now? They're sixth, and then the Jazz suck this year. Um, so yeah, let's just prep for that Lakers game. I say we just sim through these as well, and loss and a win. So we're ending today 10-7. Started off really hot, then started taking some losses to some teams we probably shouldn't have. But Wally has a good game. Finally, KG doesn't have to carry the team. But I mean, we lost, so it doesn't really matter. And then KG, another crazy game. Wally, he's back from the injury. He's shooting it up. But honestly, these are the two guys I want shooting like 20 plus shots per game. Like Wally, I'm okay with Wally being inefficient. I want him to shoot it up because we're really gonna rely on him to be that second scorer um, this whole season until some kind of trade happens. But our next matchup, we have the Lakers. And if nothing's changed, yep, the Lakers are still the 1 seed. We have fallen from the 2 to the 5 seed. But the Spurs are back up. And it seems like outside of the Lakers, actually, they've taken on a few losses, but it seems like we got a pretty close conference here. I mean, within 3.5 games. So not a lot of room for error. And every matchup counts. Um, so definitely looking forward to that Lakers game in next episode. But before we go, let's look at the team stats and talk a little bit about some of my expectations. If I can get it right. All right, so let's look at some stats. So obviously KG is leading the way. Just right on the cusp of 30 points per game, which is a career high by a good bit. I mean, second is 22. And then obviously rebounds is crazy. Assist is now on par with his other season. I would have loved to have seen him get more assists this year. But the blocks are up. So, we're happy. He's doing his best. He hasn't had any injuries yet, so we're just hoping he can keep it up for the rest of the season. I mean, this is an MVP type season right here if we get a good record. Wally, man, I would love for him to be averaging just a little bit more, but I think 20 is like my floor for him. If he's getting below 20, he's not meeting expectations. I really need Wally to outperform his expectations because he's our best trade piece, and I need a reason not to trade him. That's how I see it. He's the guy that I'm going to be putting in every trade, unless he tells me you can't trade. You know what I mean? So he's definitely outperforming what I would have expected. And looking at his threes, he's shooting way more threes than he was in previous years. I honestly wouldn't mind if it went up a little higher, but hey, he's shooting almost 50% from three, so I'm happy with that. And then we got Joe Smith, kind of outperforming last year. I'm a little surprised by this. Well, he's our third best player, but he's coming off the bench. We didn't know how good he would be. His overall has already increased, so this is pretty solid. Then Terrell Brandon, you know, good assists. I like the 8 assists. I wouldn't mind if it was a little higher. I feel like he's capable of a 9. Would be beautiful if he got 10, but he's still scoring for us, so that's big. Um, so I'm pretty happy with Terrell Brandon right now, but like I said earlier, he could definitely be a trade asset because of his contract. This is the big surprise for me personally. Kendall Gill doubling his points this year, and then Rod Strickland's been pretty solid. He had to start for a little while. Mark Jackson, a little disappointed with Mark Jackson so far. Not that I expected too much, but maybe he could get a little more rebounds. But I guess he's out there with KG, who was averaging like 17. So Anthony Pillar definitely my biggest disappointment. I mean, he's been injured. Uh, I mean, he's gonna be injured for just about the whole season. But I wanted him to shoot more threes. He didn't shoot them. This or he was shooting them, but he wasn't making them. So not too happy with him, and he's gonna be out for a long time. But oh well. Then Gary Trent pretty solid, and our boy Igor, he's doing okay. I think Igor, if need be, could be a serviceable backup point guard, which is pretty good because I mean Rod Strickland, we can't expect him to be here next season. I don't think 36, but the team's looking okay. Definitely could be in the market for some pretty big moves. Um, but we will be talking about that more at the trade deadline. We don't want to get too ahead of schedule. You never know what's gonna happen. Certain players may outperform their expectations. So we're just gonna ride it out to the trade deadline and see where we go from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and see you in episode 2.